So, the lights that I hooked up earlier, yesterday actually, or was it the day before? I don't remember. However, they just don't seem to be bright enough. Now, what I'm thinking is, it wasn't so much the light than it is the angle. I'm thinking because of the height of where I'm at, if I backed up maybe 30 feet, that they would probably be as bright as the other ones. However, they don't look to be, so I am going to install another set along with these, and the other ones are going to be LEDs, light emitting diodes. And we're going to be like, whatever it is, I'm not going to go nuts with them. And I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars every now and then to get a pair that may last another year. So we will see what we will see. So meanwhile, what I'm doing here is, come on, get out of there. Get that washer out now so I don't have to hunt for it later when I'm trying to hold something. Yeah. So always something. When the weather gets cold and you don't feel like doing something, there's always something that's going to get in your way. In this case, a lock washer. Alright, so that takes care of that side. Now let's look over to that side. Well, I'm glad I took the time to yeah, let me bring you over here closer. Sorry about that, guys. I'm glad I took the time to do this bar like I did, so that I can take it right off with that plug. As you just seen, I unplugged the wire and that was it. The one thing I didn't do, and I should have done, and I thought I did, I thought I marked the plug as to what wire went where. So when I look at the plug now, I'm seeing 4 holes, but none of them are telling me, like, oh, this is ground, this is pin number 1, or red, nothing at all to indicate what it actually is. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass. Does it need to know? Not really. It would be good to know. But I just wired it. And, at that point, forgot to do it. So, which I guess, alright. Sun's shining right in my face, guys. So if I'm squinting, you know why. It's either that or I'm in pain. Because I'll squint when I'm in pain. Okay. Now, let's take that. Unscrew that. I don't have it real tight, but I have it a little bit more than finger tight. If I go the right way with it, that'd be a lot easier. So anyway, that's that. Leave that up there. Let's take you with me, because we don't need you out here. Yeah, and I said, you know, we'd have to have at least one boat, but I'd like to have 2, you know, and have 2, possibly 3 shifts, you know, because you want to do 24-hour coverage, and just patrol the harbor. And I said, well, that sounds like a good idea, he says, because you know, times aren't getting any better. And this is before we started having all these problems with you know, all these terrorists and all that. Well, we're probably having problems with them, but it wasn't so publicized, let's put it that way. So anyway, there was another guy on the boat next to us, which I knew, but I didn't know him. He was relatively new to the dock. And he says, well, how would you work that? You know? I said, well, it depends. What the hell is that wire for? Well, we don't need that wire straying around here someplace. One, two. Yeah, I do need that wire. So, I said, where'd that wire come from? So I started talking to him. He says, well, how would you work it? Where would the money come from? I said, well, the money would come from the refineries that are on the water. You know, all these fuel tanks, and you know, where they fill all the tanks for gas stations and the oil companies. You know, so you know, there's got to be a dozen or better companies down there. You know, and that would be a minimum of a dozen. I says, and I'm sure that even the state would probably give some funding somehow. But at this point, you know, it can be done just on the companies that are down there looking to secure what comes in, because it's securing their docks, their vessels coming in, their shipments coming in and out. I mean, it's just, you know, it would be beneficial for them to do this. He said, yeah, it makes sense, makes sense. And the more I talked about it, the more sense it was making. However, I didn't feel like getting involved in going through all the paperwork that you had to go through. Because there was going to be some red tape. You know, you had to get licensed as a security company. You're going to have to get approved by the Coast Guard. You know, there's just a lot that you have to do. You have to get the vessel. You have to outfit the vessel. You have to hire the people. Now you got to involve in the unemployment. And, you know, so it was just a lot of work. And then you got to hustle to sell the idea. You know, so it just started saying, you know, this is going to take a little time, you know. So in the intro of talking to this guy with this idea, I kind of just talked myself out of it. Not because it wasn't a good idea, because more so because I didn't want to have to deal with all the bullshit to get it started. So I kind of forgot about it. And every now and then you think about it, and then you forget about it. Then you think about it, and you forget about it. You know what I mean. It wasn't tickling my fancy enough to where I was ready to go, and that's all I did. So, the next thing I know, there's a company down there called Port Security. The guy I was talking to owned an auto body shop, and they've been there for years. Him and his wife owned it, and his kid, which is kind of an asswipe, and in trouble a lot, was always looking for something to do, and they were looking for something for him to do. He didn't want to really be a body and fender guy like his father did, even though it gave him everything he wanted, because it was a very well-off company. They did very good work, and they took pride in everything they did. I think they're still there today. May not. I'm sure it's not the original owners, but it may be family run somehow. Well, he started it, and he put his kid in charge of it, and that's what happened to my idea with port security. You know, I thought I cleaned his head once, but apparently I didn't. No, it's still goozing. I gotta get that out of there. Oh, no wonder. It's all goopy. No wonder. It's all goopy. So kind of lost out on that deal. But like I say, it was one that I really didn't care one way or the other, if you know what I mean. All right, now we have to figure out what part of this plug is what. I'm going to say, if I was to look at this as I am, I would say that I made number 1 ground. Now that's not necessarily true, however. Oh, I bought some new magnets for up top here. But we're going to see. Number 1 is ground, and where am I going to go here? Let's go 3. Okay, so let's see if 1 is ground and what 3 does. So we're going to blow something up or I'm going to make it work, one or the other. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do it that way. I should put some resistance in line. That would help. Okay, so there's the red and white. So I did make number 1 ground. Okay, and number 4 are the blues. Good, and they're all working. I'm sure you can see that. Okay, number 3 is what? No connect. Okay, so number 3 is a wire that's blank in here someplace. That's why it would have been a good idea to have that bar, because then I'd know where the hell my wires are. So, okay, so that takes care of that. So we know they all work. So anyway, he opened it up, and that's what happened. So that's what happened to that. And like I say, was I pissed? Yes, but I wasn't, because I really didn't pursue it to start with. And I'm sure most of you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, you get an idea and you think it's good, you want to go with it, but you just can't seem to get the motivation to do what you got to do. Because sometimes you're thinking, the work to get it done is just... Alright guys, sorry you're so far away, however. The battery went dead, so it's plugged in over there. Last time I did this, I made this too high, if you guys remember correctly. I had to readjust it, so this time I'm not going to do that. So anyway, guys, I think it's recording still. I'm done with this. I gotta take care of the kids. They're soaking, so they should be ready. And then I'm gonna go inside and get comfortable. Because I can't do too much right now. Because I haven't got my crap clothes on. Now what are you barking at? What do you see that I don't see that's making you bark? Huh? What do you see that I don't see? Huh? Oh, you hear somebody? Oh, you see somebody. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, it's just terrible. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, they keep you all locked up so you can't go out in the street. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, your place making enough noise for both of us. Oh, yeah. All right, Tucker.